Hey guys, it's Rachel. So today I'm going to be talking about the moment that I haven't been able to stop thinking about since it happened on Sunday. It meant so much to me. It was so unexpected, and it was something that I really will hold close to my heart for a long time, and it made me so incredibly happy, and I just want to tell you guys about it. I posted a video of the clip right before this video. I uploaded it last night, so if you guys want to actually see it happen, you guys can go to that video. But basically, Kelsea Ballerini, she's a country singer, and I love her so much, and I've been a fan of hers for about 2 years now, and every time she comes to Virginia Beach, I go see her. I've seen her in Richmond, Virginia. So this was my 4th time seeing her. I bought the Keith Urban and Kelsea tickets back in March, like when they first came out, because I was like, oh my gosh, of course I'm gonna go see Kelsea, because I love her so much. And so the concert was Sunday, and our seats were not bad at all. Like, they were row in from the stage, so that is the 14th letter in the alphabet. So we were like 14 rows from like the stage already. Our seats were not bad. I was actually really happy with them. So my mom and I got to the venue, and I was really sad because I saw people with Kelsea meet and greets. And yeah, I have met Kelsea 2 times, but I just love catching up with her. She's so humble, she's so amazing, and she's so good to her fans. And I was like, dang, like, I really wish, like, I could reunite with Kelsea. But that didn't happen, but everything else that happened that surrounded it completely made up for it, and it was so special that nothing could have replaced it that night. So my mom and I got into the venue, and we were going to our seats because it was pouring rain. My mom was like, hey, like, before you go get merchandise, can you just show me to like our seats so I can sit down? I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I don't want you to be in the pouring rain. Like, I'll go stand in the pouring rain, because the amphitheater is under an awning in the seat area. So we were walking to our seats, and I was like looking down as we were walking, because yeah, I was walking. I don't have an explanation for that, but I had my head down, and I looked down, and there was a graffiti U tour all access pass, and it was yellow and it was black, and I was like, oh my god, like, and it had like a hole in it, and like the hole had been ripped, so I could tell like that somebody had lost their badge. And I was like, oh my god, like, so I picked it up, and I went to the security guards, or in like the venue personnel by our area, and I said, we're seated in this area, but I also found this. And they were like, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much. Like, most people would have just slapped it on themselves and walked backstage. I was like, no, like, somebody could get in trouble for this. Like, here, like, I don't want anybody to get in trouble. So, of course, I handed the pass over, because who wouldn't? Actually, there's some people who wouldn't. But anyways, so I handed them the pass. We went and sat in our seats, and I had my mom take a couple pictures of me holding my pictures up with Kelsea. And my mom and I were just kind of taking pictures sitting there, getting adjusted in our seats, and I was about to run to merchandise. So this guy comes up to us, and he's like, hey, he's like, are you the one who found my badge? And I'm like, yeah, I did. Like, he was like, thank you so much. He's like, I could have gotten in really big trouble for that. He's like, I can't thank you enough for being honest. He's like, can I take you guys down to pit? Like, I will give you pit. And I looked at my mom, because my mom doesn't like standing up the whole time at concerts. So I was like, and then my mom was like, are there seats down there? He's like, I can put a seat down there for you, like in the back area. So my mom was like, let's go. So we got escorted to pit, and even the people, like the security who was in pit, were like thanking us for finding the pass, or thanking me. So they put this wristband on. It looks like a Band-Aid, but like, I still haven't taken it off. And yeah, so we went down there, and I my mom went and sat down, and I saved a spot in pit, and I was like second from barricade. And I made friends with the people around me, and they were like, you're here for Kelsey, we're here with Keith. Like, you can step forward for Kelsey. You can have, like, be close to her, girl. Like, we want you to interact. They were so freaking nice. And they were like, just as long as, like, we can be up front for Keith, like, you can have our spot for Kelsey. I was like, thank you, you're so kind. And because they saw what a big fan I was. Because I had my pictures out, and, like, yeah. So, we waited, and Kelsey came on about 7:30, and then my mom came up. Like, my mom was, like, right behind me. Like, she was a partier that night. I was, like, really shocked, but, like, really happy that she had such a great time, like, dancing around with me, and she stood up in pit, literally, with me from the time Kelsey came out to when we left, like, a little before Keith finished. A trooper. So, Kelsey comes out, and it's during Unapologetically, which she opens with. I'm against the barricade, and Kelsey comes out from our area of the stage. And so I'm holding up my picture. It's the XO one. I was holding that up, and I had the CD out. I had my 2 pictures out, and I was, like, holding it up. And I was looking at Kelsey jumping up and down, and I got that on recording too. And oh my God. So I had my phone in one hand and all these pictures and stuff in this other hand. And she looked at me. She made eye contact with me. And she was singing Unapologetically. This is the opening song. And she waves at me. She smiles. And she, like, recognizes the picture because she's seen the picture on my Instagram and stuff. Like, the XO one was, like, a very unique picture. And I met her one time after we took that picture, because we took the XO picture in 2017, and then we took, XO was in 2016 the first time I met her, and then 2017 I met her again on the You Look Good tour. So anyways, so she recognized me. So her set went on, and I'm just gonna skip to this part because I cannot get over this. So Legends, she started talking about how Legends was for us, and she was like, I just want to dedicate the song to you, and it's always been for the fans. I swear to you, it was so surreal, and, like, thinking about it brings me to freaking tears. So she starts singing the song. She sings, like, the opening verse, and she sings the chorus. And she was at the main part of, like, the stage at this point where her, like, original microphone was. And then she went literally like that. I look like an idiot, but I heard the tune in my head. And she didn't see me during the song at all, but she knew. She comes marching over to me. Marches over to me. Literally, she leaves the main stage. She comes over to me. And at this point, I, like, had my hand out. I was like, oh my God. Like, but she knew where she was going. Like, you could clearly tell, like, she was on a mission to come to me. Oh my God. And so she comes over. She makes eye contact with me. She gets on her freaking knees, grabs my hand, and sings the second verse to me. And she started singing, like we were written down in permanent marker, not even the brightest sun could ever fade. Come whichever hell or high water. She sang that whole part to me, and at this point, I was shaking. I was, like, near tears, and then she grabbed other people's hands after that one part, and then she saw that I was singing back every single word, like, and I was crying at this point. Like, after she stopped holding my hand the first time, I was crying. And I was like, it was always me and you there. And I was like, hey, we wrote our own story. She saw how happy I was. She smiled, and she freaking grabs my hand again. And I was like, oh my God. And she grabs my hand a freaking again. And she doesn't, and she she sang to me again, and like she held my hand, and because she saw how happy I was and like how hard, like I just had tears rolling down my face. And then after like she walked away after this part, I was full on sobbing, and everybody around me was like, oh my God. And I'm like, I was just crying like against the barricade, and I was just like, I was sobbing but still singing. It was so surreal. I can't even put into words. And like when she like held my hand, like she was just smiling so big, and we were singing to each other. It made me so happy. Like you could tell that she recognized me from the get-go, and she wanted to come over and like sing that part to me. And it was so entirely special to me. I can't even begin to say how much it meant to me. Okay, so the set goes on, and I was holding up my picture. I was holding up my pictures again. She came over kind of near Peter Pan. She glanced at me a couple more times. Okay, 911. Her set ends. Like, she's like, my name is Kelsea Ballerini. Thank you for singing with me. Enjoy, Keith Urban. She starts to walk our direction again, and she looks over at me to say goodbye. And I was like, Kelsea, Kelsea, Kelsea. She comes running over to me again, and she's like, she kneels down again, and I stuck my phone out. She takes it, and she takes a freaking selfie with me against the barricade. And then she hands me my phone back, and she goes, I love you so much, and goes, mwah, mwah, mwah. And she walks away. Like, then she like left the stage, and then she waved to everybody else, and she was gone. And oh my God, like I was like, oh my God, like she was making dead eye contact with me, like the whole time. Like she was like, mwah, mwah, mwah. And then she like walked away. And can you hear how happy I am by the tone of my voice? Like, I cannot even believe how surreal that whole moment was. Like her singing Legends specifically to me, and like she like made a beeline just to come sing to me, and like she knew that she wanted to come over there and sing it to me. And then she came over and like said hi to me after like she had finished her last song, and like as she was exiting the stage. Like I cannot even believe that Kelsea did that for me, and I can't even thank her enough like for making me feel so freaking special. And she went out of her way to like acknowledge me the whole set, and made me feel like one out of a million. It made me feel like we were the only two people in the room, and it was entirely a night to remember. And it was so funny because I went out to merchandise after that, and I bought a Legends sweatshirt because I was like, I need it. She sang it to me. And I was on the phone with my dad, and I was like, yeah, this just happened. And he was like, oh my God, that's way too cool. And the girls behind me, I hang up. She's like, oh, so you're the one. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, you were on the screen with Kelsea. She's like, that was your phone she grabbed? I was like, yeah, that was me. And I was like, it was so surreal. I'm not over that moment, and it just made me so happy. And again, Kelsea, thank you so much for going out of your way to make me feel special, and thank you for recognizing me and just everything. And I love you too so much, and love you, mean it. And I really hope that you come back to Virginia Beach soon. Maybe on your own headlining tour, or another tour being an opener. I don't know, but I'm blown away. I will travel to go see you. I love you so much. And thank you guys. You guys have also been very kind to me, like saying, oh my gosh, that's so good. But anyways, I love you guys. Kelsea, if you happen to be watching this, I can't even say thank you enough. So I love you. Thank you for everything. And if you guys want to see the videos, my socials are down below. And bye, Kelsea. Love you. Mean it.